stand to draw the attention of the government. I would like to thank the honorable member from North Shillong who had tabled this very important issue which has been before us under Rule 50 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business. I'm sure that the honorable member has brought this important matter for discussion under these relevant rules. Obviously, because this issue has been an issue which has drawn the attention of not only the members of this August House, but the citizens of the state as a whole, and the citizens from beyond the state boundaries of our own state. And therefore, we all are sensitive to this kind of unpleasant narrative which are generated because of instances of alleged irregularities and alleged corruption. Now, if we go by the very relevant reference to what has been spoken by the Honorable Prime Minister of this great nation and Honorable Union Home Minister, notwithstanding during the election campaign, but we all are responsible to what we say. And the mover of this short duration discussion, the motion under short duration discussion, has referred to this only based on what was the further narrative that was generated not only within the state, but beyond the state, across the nation and across the globe. This particular news item has been picked up by many national and international medias, and they are still available. Now, it's very painful for all of us, irrespective of whether we are in the Treasury bench or in the opposition bench, that our state, this state of Meghalaya, is today having an infamous tag of being the most corrupt state. Like in Ramayana, we know that when Sita had to be exonerated from the suspicion, there was an Agni Pariksha, just to ensure that the perception, if it is wrong, we come clear. And we free our state from this infamous tag. We need to stand trial if need be. And that is what the law of the land speaks. Therefore, this House must take cognizance of these statements, besides the other narratives which have been generated, which, as per the statement of both these responsible leaders have spoken about, obviously have referred also to the narrative which was doing the rounds. The narrative amongst the common man, the narratives amongst those well-wishers of the state of Meghalaya, people who wish well for our people, for our state. The narrative of these people were picked up, including what was available, obviously, with the government of India under the robust government machineries that feeds the Union Home Minister and the PMO with all the inputs as to what is happening across the nation. It is important for each one of us to know that everything that we do not skip the kind of information collection which is fed to this highest office of the country, including the highest office in the state. We used to know what is happening where when we have the privilege of being in the authority. Therefore, any instance of alleged irregularity and alleged corruption need to be taken cognizance of by people who are in authority. Because it is incumbent upon all of us, based on the mandate of the people, to recognize this huge responsibility that comes with power and position and authority. I have said that when we look at the menace of corruption and the resultant fallout for the future generation, I would like to further say that corruption is more crippling and deadlier than terrorism. It can cripple the state and cripple the state at the cost of whom? At the cost of the generation next. Therefore, let us not take this particular issue lightly. I would like to urge upon the government of the day, under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, and also urge this August House. I think it is only appropriate for the House, for this August House, to adopt a resolution. Let this resolution be a government resolution, urging Government of India to indicate as to where the instances of such alleged irregularities and alleged corruption has taken place. And if there are indications of such instances, let Government of India come out with all the necessary measures to investigate into such alleged irregularities and alleged corruption, so that we, if we are clean, we are able to exonerate our state and free this state, the beautiful state of Meghalaya, state which has been known for many good things, to exonerate and free from this infamous stake of being referred as the #1 corrupt states. There are many things, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think it is not necessary for me to further elaborate on these instances. You have all those background of discussions, deliberations, both within the House and outside the House, even prior to, even in the last 5 weeks. Therefore, they are all available before us. Government also have embarked upon a number of initiatives to really go into details of such allegations and irregularities in the preceding years. But let us see that they all have a logical conclusion, reflective of our commitment, honesty. It is also necessary further for the government, therefore, to ensure that all the institutions that has been established through the mandate of this August House, through various legislative measures that we have embarked upon, collectively, after exhaustive due deliberations and engagement with our people of the state, let all these institutions be further strengthened and activated. Be it the Lok Ayukta and various other commissions, whether it is in respect to implementation of food and civil supplies related programs, or whether it is in relation to many other programs, even electricity. Look at the quantum of ATC losses. It is touching 60%. Unimaginable. Is it something to cover up all the other irregularities that's happening underground? That ATC losses has climbed up to 60%. It's unbelievable. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, let these instances of any alleged irregularity do not cripple this state. This beautiful and vibrant state which can be prosperous and progressive and can be one of the richest states and can be self-reliant. Therefore, I think the onus of responsibility is upon each one of us. Therefore, let us be honest to our responsibilities. Maybe there are instances where issues of such serious nature have skipped the attention of the government then. But if it is now being brought before us, is it not necessary for us to take cognizance of these issues? Yes, because the law demands. The law demands on taking cognizance of instances of anything that inflicts injury upon the physical health of the state, which inflicts, or rather which goes against the protecting the interests of the state. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, once again I would like to thank the Honourable Member of North Shillong for having brought this important issue in the form of short duration discussion under the relevant rule of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business. And I have reasons to believe that the government will take cognizance of these concerns. These concerns that we are speaking is actually concerns of every concerned citizen who wish well for the state and who understands the responsibility towards protecting the interests of the state for the larger interests of the country. With these few words, I would like to conclude by sincerely expecting that the government take cognizance of what has been spoken by the Honourable Member who have tabled this important issue through the relevant rule and the points that I have submitted. We should definitely urge Government of India to take cognizance of what they have said and further proceed as per the law of the land. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chief Minister in charge to reply, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm grateful to the Honourable Member, Shri Adelbert Nongrum, who has, through this short duration discussion, raised the important issue relating to charges of corruption by the state government in Meghalaya, made by Honourable Prime Minister and Honourable Union Home Minister of India during their visits to the state during February 2023. So during the last 5 years, the main focus of the government had been on improving human development, upliftment of primary sector, creation and improvement of infrastructure, entrepreneurship promotion, youth development, environmental protection, apart from ensuring transparent and corruption-free government through systematic initiatives and reforms. Enacting the right to public service legislation, which guarantees time-bound delivery of service coupled with initiatives like improving the coverage and scope of e-district services, introduction of EPOS machines in fair price shops, not only helped reduce corruption, but also increase the speed and quality of the services, being delivered to the people of our state. Meghalaya State Public Service Delivery Commission has been set up to ensure that the services are delivered as envisaged by the Act and to reduce any chance of corruption thereby. Initiatives in the areas of governance include MEG-EA, enterprise architecture, which harnesses the power of digital technology to improve not only public service delivery, but also the internal systems of governance. For instance, the e-proposal systems, which won the prestigious World Summit on the Information Society Award, reduced the sanction timelines for all government schemes, ultimately benefiting all the citizens of the state. The state government had taken up several programs and initiatives to ensure overall development of the state. These include mission mode interventions in agriculture and allied sector, such as Lakadong Mission, Piggery Mission, Ginger Mission, renovation and upgradation of school buildings, setting up of integrated village cooperative societies. And in the health sector, the government had introduced and implemented the Meghalaya State Health Policy, and the Mother Program. Initiatives like the Early Childhood Development Mission and CM Cares ensured that the human development needs and society and social security are handled in a comprehensive and systematic manner. Some of the important projects completed during the last 5 years include Shillong Information Technology Park Phase 1, Shillong International Center for Performing Arts, PA Sangma Football Stadium, Bakmara Water Supply Scheme, Greater Sora Water Supply Scheme, Shillong Interstate Bus Terminal, Courtyard by Marriott, and Vivanta. For improving connectivity, the government has taken steps to construct and upgrade many important and critical roads in the state. Government roads have been constructed in the state at the rate of 2 kilometers per day since 2018. Shillong Airport at Umroi has been made fully operational. Currently, the airport is catering to 10,000 passengers with 250 flights every month, connecting 9 cities. I would like to take this opportunity to clarify on some of the important points that were raised by the honorable members. Number one, sir, the construction of the Tura Medical College is in progress and the physical progress is 40%. For the Shillong Medical College, land measuring 50 acres has been allotted at the new Shillong Township. Number two, the number of functional household tap connections have increased from 4,550 to almost 3 lakh households in a span of 4 years. 100% tap connections were achieved in a total of 1,422 villages. This is a testimony to the speed and dedication with which Jal Jeevan Mission is being implemented in the state, despite the geographic and climatic conditions and challenges. The total amount sanctioned under JJM is 6,572 crores, of which only 2,054 crores has been released as central share till date, whereas the state share released so far is 228.23 crores. Under the PMGSY 1 and 2, 4,150 kilometers of roads and 75 bridges have been completed. The amount sanctioned is 3,034 crores, of which an amount of 2,492 crores has been utilized. And sir, just to give an idea of how much work has happened in the PMGSY sector, that in the previous governments, between the year 2013 and 2018, total roads constructed was 700 kilometers. Whereas in the year 2018 to 2022, we constructed 2,453 kilometers of roads. Almost triple, 3 times more than what was done in the previous 5 years. The amount that was spent during that time was, in 2018 to 2022, was 1,758 crores, compared to 2013 and 18, where only 500 crores was spent. So similarly, in Jal Jeevan Mission, as you can see, that Meghalaya is maybe the only state in the country which has received 3 continuous bonuses, which means that the states which actually are able to complete the work, finish it on time, submit the utilization, are eligible to get bonus. Meghalaya is the only state in the country which has received bonus for 3 consecutive years. This is testimony of the fact that how the MDA government had performed in the previous 5 years, where Government of India itself had declared that Meghalaya is one of the best performing states when it comes to Jal Jeevan Mission in the country. It is Government of India that has also mentioned that Meghalaya is one of the best performing states when it comes to PMGSY implementation. And its testimony is clear with the numbers here that shows that we have constructed 3 times more roads than what was constructed in the previous 5 years of our government in between 2018 and 2022. So as per the periodic labor force survey of 2020-2021, the unemployment rate at the age of group of 15 to 59 for Meghalaya is 1.8%. So this is the periodic labor force survey, not done by us, but at the national level. While the national figure stands at 4.6%. And many initiatives have been taken to ensure that employment is generated at the grassroots level, whether it is programs like Prime, where we are doing different entrepreneurship related programs, whether it's Focus, where we are helping different producer groups, whether it's Aspire, to ensure that we are able to improve the soft skill and the confidence level of our youth, whether it's the luxury tourism vehicles, whether it's the agri-response vehicle scheme, where we are going to increase the fleet of the 1917 from a mere 2025 numbers to over 200. And we intend to do this every year, so that in the matter of 5 years' time, we are able to cross at least 600-700 vehicles under the 1917 program. And similarly, even under the luxury tourism program, in the similar line, we plan to increase the number of vehicles there also, so that our youth of the state can directly get the benefits of all these different programs that are there. Under the PMEGP homestay and investment programs, more than 700 new homestays have been sanctioned and they are being constructed as we speak, and many more will be done in the days to come. These are all schemes that are being programmed and being implemented, keeping in mind the strength of our state, the areas where we have advantages in, and ensuring that how we could, with basic investment, we could uplift the overall, the delta as we call it. So the increase that we can have in the overall improvement of the services that we give at the grassroots level, so that the overall employment level goes up and more opportunities come for the people. These different areas are being addressed. We have, for the first time, an IT park in Meghalaya, where hundreds and thousands of our youth are already working out there. We have seen the kind of positive response that we have received from international companies who are running processes all the way from the US and from UK and other parts of the world, where our local boys and girls are today getting employment out here directly as well as indirectly. And we have been overbooked in this IT park, which has then pushed us to start the second phase. And I'm happy to inform the House that the construction of the second phase, where we expect to have another 5,000 seaters of call centers and different IT-related projects, we should be able to see it complete within the next 2 years' time. So therefore, by the end of 2024, we are expecting that we should be able to complete the second phase of IT Park. And not only there will we stop, but we intend to further take it forward. And my target is that we should be able to cross at least 20,000 seats in the next 5 years, so that we are able to create the much needed employment and also focus on the strengths that our people have. And IT has always been an area, because of our language proficiency, that there's a huge scope that is there in terms of creation of employment. So in terms of centrally sponsored scheme, the government has been further enhancing the pace of development of the state by utilizing all the eligible centrally sponsored schemes and central sector schemes and seamlessly dovetailing them with the development needs to the state through effective convergence and collaboration. In instance where the funds released under centrally sponsored and central sector schemes cannot be utilized in the same financial year due to constraints like timing of release, adverse weather events, the funds were utilized in the immediate next financial year so that the benefits are delivered to the public at the earliest. Further, for the schemes that are critically important, the state government has been addressing the delay of release of funds from Government of India by creating corpus funds so that the works can progress without interruption. For instance, a corpus fund of 78 crores has been created for the implementation of the SSA scheme. So the fiscal deficit of the state is being managed in a pragmatic manner, balancing the development needs of the state and the fiscal discipline that we need to maintain. So the state government has responded to the once-in-a-century crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, by expanding the fiscal deficit in the year 2020-2021 to ensure that the